Let's go, Doc!
Tayo. And no more countdown na pala ba? That's good. Opo. And thanks for joining us. Today is our first broadcast for January 2. And that's the first po for 2021. So our title po is How Not to Freak Out in 2021 or How to Lead a Calmer Lifestyle po. And of course, that comes with improving our mental health. So my name is Dr. Ana York Bondok. Ako po yun. I am a pulmonary specialist sa Baga po yun. And I'm also a former congresswoman, the wife of Mayor Jay, and the mom po of Benjamin, who's 8 years old. And aminin na po natin, we freaked out a lot in 2020. So maybe one of our New Year's resolutions is how to lead a calmer lifestyle or how to chillax po sa susunod pong taon so that we may navigate our way through the end of the pandemic po in a cool, calm, and collected manner. Pwede ba yon? Well, we can try, okay? For those po na talagang high anxiety, and anxiety really is one of the major issues po ngayong pandemic, it might be well and good for us to listen po to this talk. So if you'd like to improve your mental health, you'd like to learn how to relax and chill out or chillax, sabi po ng mga bata, or how simply not to freak out at magwala, manood po kayo ngayong araw na to. So our program is called Libreng Konsulta. We have a YouTube po. Please follow us. Please subscribe. It's Dr. Ana York Bondok po. And for those with questions, ilagay nyo lang po below, especially about mental health. Kung about COVID po, welcome. About vaccines, welcome. And just about health in general, welcome din po yung mga tanong. So let's start. Our title is How Not to Freak Out in 2021. Okay? So, the question that I receive is, Dear Doctora, babasahin ko po, I'm a mom with 3 kids and definitely 2020 was a big challenge. And talaga pong I worried a lot, especially po nung naging work from home ako. I worried also po nung naging online po ang mga bata sa kanilang schools. And I still remain concerned and freaking out po about a lot of other issues about this pandemic. Doktora, pagod na po ako sa pagiging anxious last year. Paano po ako maka-move forward po at wag na pong magwala? Ang gandang tanong, ano? Well, first of all, gusto ko pong sabihin, how do we answer this question of a mom? And I think this is everyone's problem. Lahat po tayo, we were consumed with worry, with anxiety. Ano po yun? Yung sobrang pagbabahala. And let's face it, a lot of us freaked out po in 2020. But ngayon, bagong taon na, so bagong buhay, restart. And tingnan po natin if we can avoid freaking out and if we can remain chill netong susunod na taon. So, first of all, how would I like to address this question? Number one po is tanggapin po natin that 2020 was a difficult year. Okay? So, tanggapin po natin na talagang ang buong mundo, hindi lang ikaw, nag-freak out talaga. Okay? Talagang mahirap. And the most prepared businesses, the most wealthy persons, the most intelligent persons, I would say every single person in the world po ay nag-adjust po ng kanilang buhay nung last year. Okay? So you're not alone. And gusto ko po rin sabihin, ang dami ko pong natatanggap ng mga sulat. Yung anak ko po is not performing well in online school. My business is not doing as good as pre-pandemic. Marami po kaming pinag-aalala ngayon compared to the pandemic. And then, I would like to say this. Number one, you're not alone. Number two, it's the whole world. And number three, I'd like to say this, which not many people might think about, is that last year does not define you. Anong meaning nun? Kung ano yung nangyari last year, hindi yun yung katuturan ng buhay nyo or hindi po yun yung pangkalahatan ng buhay nyo. It's just one difficult year. So, I'd like to say that again, 2020 doesn't define anybody. Okay? Kung bumagsak po yung business nyo, you're not a failure. Kung humina po yung grades nyo, you're not stupid. At kung ano po, talagang nakapagtaas po kayo ng boses sa inyong pamilya and maybe got into a few fights, hindi naman po kayo pala away. What I'm trying to say is, it's stress. Okay? And sana po, let's do 2021 as a do-over po ng 2020. Kung ano po yung nangyari noon, tanggapin na lang po natin. Remember that it's not us, it's the pandemic, and that let's move forward with our life. Okay? Your child is not stupid. You are not masungit. Your business is not a failure. Yun po yun. It's just the influence po of stress and very bad outside forces. Okay? So number two that I wanted to bring up po is there's hope. That's the number two thing that I wanted to answer. What is the difference between 2021 and 2020 when the pandemic started? Well, ngayon po, 2021, may pag-asa na po. And why would I say that? Kasi po noong 2020, ba't ba tayo nagwala? Kasi parang wala ho tayong nakikitang end. It was a never-ending pandemic. It was a never-ending imprisonment po sa ating bahay. It was a never-ending, hindi na ho natin matatayo yung ating business. It was a never-ending, we're trapped in the house with these children forever and ever. Amen. That was March 2020. And at that time, we didn't even know po kung ilan ang namamatay. Well, it's now January 2021. What happened? Ano, in the Philippines, 475,000 po ang nagkasakit. Around 9,000 po ang namatay. And the pandemic is continuing. But more importantly po, ang dami na po nating lessons na natutunan. We have improved ourselves so much since March 2020. And buhay pa naman tayo, di ba? So that's already very good. So where is the hope in this situation? There are two hopes here, no? The first hope po, obviously, is the vaccine. Ito po talaga yung way out of our problem. And the world, the best minds in the world, lahat po ng dalubhasa ay nakagawa po ng bakuna. And the way out of most infectious diseases, I'd like to mention smallpox, polio, measles, bakuna po talaga yung naging solusyon po nito. And for COVID, the discovery po of the first vaccine, the second, parang madami na po up to 5 na po are in the development at marami pa pong iba. Which goes to show you po when the mind of the world really nag-concentrate po sila sa problema and talagang nakagawa naman po ng solusyon. Yes, the vaccine is the hope po. And it exists. So tayo po, we just have to wait and then hopefully po support our government, support our family din po, keep ourselves safe. And then may pag-asa po, there's a way out of this and that way out of it will be the vaccine. And with our mental health din po, may pag-asa. To think po nung March, talagang we don't know, baka million-million na po yung patay, ganun po, baka will never end. I mean, there's an end eh. Hihintay na lang po natin yung end. When that end will be, yan ang hindi talaga natin alam. But definitely, the vaccine is going to come to the Philippines. Ako po, Fearless Forecast, mid-2021 up to 2022 and further po, no? But it's coming. And then what's the second hope? The second hope is that we now know what to do. Noong March 2020, talagang hindi na ho natin alam kung lahat ng doktor mamamatay. Honestly, hindi naman natin alam yun. Ang dami po talaga nagkasakit. Some of the best and most respected cardiologists, infectious disease, lahat po yan nagmatayan. And it was really quite scary. But now, with the developments po of the vaccine, and ito po yung second hope, alam na po natin how to prevent, which is wearing the mask, social distancing, ano po, ano, alcohol. Marami na rin pong gamot to treat COVID. Eh, alam na rin po natin what to do. So if we combine what we know now, how to prevent, how to treat, and then ano po, vaccine, may pag-asa po talaga ang mundo to get out of this COVID pandemic. Okay? So it's not hopeless. Yun na lang ho yun. We're working towards a goal and let's move po towards that. Okay? So, isa pa, another thing that I wanted to bring up is you're in charge of your life. So, don't freak out. Kayo po ang bahala po kung ano po yung mangyayari sa susunod. And you would say, Doktora, why would you say this na you're in charge of your life? Kasi po dati, ito na lang from the pandemic, we felt imprisoned, 'di ba, by the pandemic. Choices were being made not by us, but by the government imposing po mga choices po sa atin. We cannot leave our house, we have to have a lockdown, work at home na po tayo. Parang ang daming nangyari na hindi natin pinili. Okay? Pero, pinag-iisipan ko po, no, is this parang situation na wala tayong choice? Hindi kaya na, even before pandemic, parang wala na rin tayong choice. And what do I mean by that? Pre-pandemic po, parang we have to go to work, like, we have to wake up at 5 o'clock because the children have to go to school. After hinatid po sila, ang daming traffic, so malilate po tayo sa opisina. Pagka dating po natin sa opisina, trabaho until 12, and then trabaho na lang until 5. And then, alam mo yon, battling the traffic to go home, and then paulit-ulit na lang. Ito na lang Christmas. We have to have party, not because we want party, but because all our kamag-anakans are waiting for the party. We have a gift to everybody in the office. Parang ang daming expectation. So even pre-pandemic po, I would say we're already trapped. Hindi naman po trapped by a lockdown, pero trapped by sa araw-araw po na ginagawa natin. Until the day you enter the workforce, that's the age of 21, until the day that you retire, the age of 65, wala akong ibabago doon kung hindi magigising ka at magtatrabaho ka. Okay? At wala na, those are the realities of life. Magigising ka, magtatrabaho ka, dadalhin yung mga bata sa school. The traffic will never go away until the day you die, yun na ho yun. What I'm trying to say is, ang dami pala, nung nasira po lahat yun, ang dami pala natin pwedeng piliin. The pandemic blew up everything that we know. And sa pagkasira po ng mga tradisyon, mga expectation, mga reality, mga traffic, mga school, lahat yon, buhay pa pala tayo, di ba? At ang dami pa pala natin pwedeng piliin. Choices were made for us before without even us thinking about it. It's just so automatic eh. So, nung dumating po yung hindi automatic, which actually equal to a world war actually, talagang nalaman po natin na ba't ba natin ginagawa yun? Are we doing it because we like it? Or are we doing these things po dahil obligasyon po natin sa pamilya, sa gobyerno, sa mga bata, sa asawa, sa trabaho, sa boss? Parang ang daming obligasyon. So what I'm trying to say ngayon is, you're in charge of your life. Piliin nyo yung gusto nyo gawin at huwag nyo gagawin po yung ayaw nyo. Kasi pwede naman pala, di ba? Pwede naman palang hindi gagawin ito. Pwede naman po palang mag-work from home. Pwede naman pala. That's, I think, something that we found out, that you can choose now what you want to do. Kasi parang back to zero ka eh. With that, marami palang ibang pwedeng piliin. So we're not helpless with our life pre-pandemic, and we are not also helpless in the pandemic. Ang dami po nating pwedeng piliin gawin. And it's just up to us kung ano po yung gusto niyong piliin, ano? Ito po, this is a going against the psychology, ano po, may tinatawag po nating learned helplessness. Kasi parang feeling natin wala na tayong choice, paulit-ulit na lang, hindi na tayo gagawa ng bago. And it can be very draining po to your mental health to think na when you wake up for the next 40 years, that will be your life. Well, we found out that's not. And it has given us tremendous power na hindi pala yun yung buhay natin, na pwede pala tayong gumawa ng ganito. So, piliin lang po natin yung gusto natin gawin. If it's good for us, let's do it. If it's not good for us, well, then that's our choice. Okay? Thirdly, na gusto ko pong sabihin is, your life is different now, but that's okay. Diba? Ano bang buhay mo dati? Like I mentioned, diba? Pagising, work, school, kids, ganoon. Ngayon, maybe you lost your job. Maybe you're in a different career. Maybe po, you're teaching your kids in a different way. Baka ho yung iba nasa probinsya. Yung iba naman ho, from abroad, napilitang umuwi sa Pilipinas dahil nawalan ng trabaho. Yung iba po, from naka-online school na kasi wala nang real school. Yung iba po, work from home na kasi no need na pala na pumunta sa office at makipag-ano dun sa traffic. So, what am I trying to say? Our life became different. Pero masama ba yun? If the pandemic hadn't happened, our life would never be different. Our life would just be the same kasi kumikita naman tayo. Because alam nga naman sabihin mo sa mga biyanan mo, sa asawa mo, or what, na ayaw mo nang ipasok yung anak mo sa school. Hindi pwede yun eh. So, naiba siya. But, on the other hand, it's not really that bad eh. nasa sa'yo yun kung nagustuhan mo yung pag-iba or hindi. Tell me naman, doktora, paano ba naman gumanda yung pag-iba na nawalan ako ng trabaho? Well, oo nga, nawalan ka ng trabaho. Baka naman nakakuha ka ng separation pay and then you put up an online business, di ba? So, iba-iba. Baka naman dati po, you bringing all the kids to school. Then you found out na mas okay pala yung pagsasamahan nyo pag magkasama kayo sa bahay. So, pagtapos po ng pandemic, yung hope na sinasabi ko, maybe you will not totally send, kumbaga, baka hindi ka babalik 100% dun sa dati, but definitely, alam mo na yung gusto mo at hindi. Kasi kung hindi mo na-experience yun, hindi mo alam yun, di ba? And your life is on hold, your life is different, but pwede naman magbigay ng attention to other aspects of your life na because everything was moving so fast dati, hindi mo nabigyan ng atensyon. O for example, paano ba? Dati, everybody was such a workaholic. Ngayon, may time sa family. Kung masama ba yun? Okay? Dati naman, social life ng social life. Talagang labas ng labas, ng labas, ng labas, ng labas, ng labas. O ngayon, hindi na lumalabas. Instead of social life, inner life naman. You're reading and learning at home. That's also okay. Dati po, you going out all the time. Ngayon, you're exploring in the Philippines. Dati po, you keep traveling to Japan, Niseko, Korea, US, Europe, lahat na pinuntahan mo. O ngayon, you are learning things about your neighborhood, about your husband, about the Philippines that you never knew before. Dati po, netong January 2, wala na kung lahat ng Pilipinong may kaya, wala na po sa bahay nila ngayon. Ngayon, everyone's in their house. Wala naman pong masama dun eh. But what I'm trying to say is that parang naiba siya. But it's up to you po kung naiba siya for the better or for the worse. And yung sa pagkaiba niya, again, balik tayo, pwede naman ho kayong pumili dun sa pagkaiba. Okay? And then next that I wanted to say is there's a challenge. For every challenge, there's an opportunity. Okay? Why would I say that? Kasi sometimes we're so busy nga doing what we normally do. Kumikita naman tayo, we're in a great job, ganun, ganun. Hindi tayo makamove forward. And pwede pala yun, And why did we never do it that way? Etong work from home na lang po. 1 week before the lockdown, I was talking po with one of the top executives po of the people who make Betadine. Okay? So, tinanong ko po sa kanya, do you have people working from home? Sabi niya, kasi ako, I used to have people working from home na rin. Kasi maliit lang po yung business namin. So, we usually work a lot with part-timers who want to work from home para marami po silang iniikutan mga kumpanya. And nakausap ko po yung kaibigan ko who's a major executive po of a pharmaceutical company. So I asked her, do you have people who work from home? And she said, naku, Anna, that's not part of the company culture. I said, did you never think of it? Sabi niya, well, it's just that we don't want to do it because we've never done it. And alam mo naman ng mga tao, they're quite conservative in the way they make decisions, especially businesses. So biglang come pandemic, lahat sila work from home na. So what I mean is, talagang nagtataka ka, ba't hindi natin ginagawa dati ito? Kasi dati, sanay na tayo sa ginagawa natin. And yun, why did I never set up a YouTube account or a Facebook Live? Wala, I was so busy. And that's good actually kasi pag sira na yung lahat, dun ho tayo makakahanap ng bago. And sometimes an explosion is good in life, in career, in relationships. Some people reevaluate, some people rediscovered their husbands and their kids. That's good. Some people po reevaluated their relationships and found out na it's not the way they wanted to be and have moved on. Good rin ho yun. Alam mo, magugulat ka, good rin yun. Bakit? Kasi kung hindi nangyari po yung pandemic, they will just continue to be together kasi it's just the more convenient thing to do. Pero ngayon pandemic, they realize they're not meant for each other. Yung mga magjowa or whatever have moved on. And that's good. Kasi kailangan po yan eh. How about those people who always wanted to start a business but never had the courage? Pag wala na ho, pag zero ka na eh, wala na eh, minus na lang eh. So you just have to, when you're at the bottom, there's only one way to go but up. So the people who lost their jobs, hopefully naman they got something and they moved on and Maybe even it could have been for the better. Or maybe they were not meant for that job at all. Or maybe the boss is really getting rid of employees po na talagang he couldn't stand pero napipilitan lang. So, it might not be perfect, but for every challenge po, sa lahat ng nasira, you can rebuild. You can rebuild the same or you can rebuild differently. So, nasa sa inyo na ho yun kung ano yung naging learnings nyo po dun sa pagkasira. So, again, talagang yung iba po talagang nag-umpisa na ng bago kasi what's the worst thing ba that can happen? Sige, if you start a new business, ano ba, malulugi ka? Lugi ka na nga, so wala na. Some people have gone on to grad school. Some people learn TikTok. Some people learn to be bold. Kasi what's the worst nga ba? Mako-COVID ka. Ano ba? Parang what's the worst really that can happen? When the worst has happened, there's really not much worse that can happen pa. Okay? So, ang dami po talagang mga tao nag-umpisa ng bago, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. At sa pag-umpisa po nila ng bago, it could have been better than it was before. It could have been worse. But the pandemic is ending. So you can always go back po dun sa ginagawa nyo dati. I told you there's hope, di ba? Sa pagkabalik po ng hope, if you really wanted to do what you were doing before, it's only 1 year na lang and probably even less. Okay? Pero I wanted to ask this question. Di ba ka naiinis sa mga taong nagtayo ng 3 business? Yung iba, nag-workout at sumayaw. Sorry, ako yon. Yung iba naman, sumikat pa. Yung iba naman, parang naging heroes pa. Ito lang, I speak for most people. Nakakainis din yun eh. Pandemic na nga, ang dami pa achievement. So what I could say, my fifth, for not freaking out, let other people do what they want, okay? Let them take up the challenges of the pandemic. Let them do all these things. It's perfectly okay to do nothing. I don't mean to do nothing, but it's perfectly okay na survival po was your main goal for 2020. Wala pong masama doon. If you kept your family safe, if you stop fighting with other people, if you stop comparing yourself with other people, if you just wore a mask, accomplishment mo na yon, okay? Kung hindi ho kayo nagpatayan sa bahay, kung buhay pa yung asawa mo at yung mga kids who are still talking to you, survival is a perfectly good goal for 2020. And it's a perfectly good goal for 2021 also. Why? Because there's hope. As I said, number one, there's hope. So if you just want to survive until the vaccine, okay lang po yan. And after the vaccine, move on. Pwede rin po yun. It can be very tiring to watch other people start new stuff, to start all these accomplishments. That's okay. Sa kanila yun eh. Pero yung timeline mo, yun yung timeline mo. Huwag mong madiliin. Kung yun talaga yung feeling mo dapat sa'yo, gawin mo. There's now no pressure po to follow others. If you feel threatened by their success on social media, unfollow. Kung naiinis ka na dahil yun yung pangatlong may nag-post pa, I am now ganito-ganito sa kanyang job, nakumita daw siya sa kanyang online selling, plantita na daw siya, nakarami-raming kinita, babayaan mo siya. Basta ako, buhay pa ako, my family is okay, may kinakain ako sa araw-araw, nagsusuot ako ng mask, at hinihintay ko na lang yung bakuna, Ox na yon. Okay? So, yun lang po. Those are ways to chill out. Number one, ulitin lang po natin talaga na mabilis. Last year doesn't define you. Kakaiba talaga po yung last year. Number two, there's hope po for next year. Number three, we can and should make changes in our life. It's okay po kung may nagbago. Take every challenge po as an opportunity. And lastly, to survive is already an accomplishment. So sa inyo po, for 2021, my advice po, relax lang, chillax. Hope is coming. Okay? Salamat. Okay, bumati naman tayo.
From Mr. Jericho Roque Mendoza II. Happy New Year po, Doktora.
Wow, first time we hear from Jericho. Thanks, Jericho. Happy New Year.
From Mr. Alex Guevara. Hello po, Doktora. Watching from Barangay Malauli, Masantol.
Hi, sir. Kumusta?
From Maria Ina Sunga, Happy New Year, Doktora.
Hi, Ina. Happy New Year.
From Jennifer Rojas Rivera, Happy New Year po, Doktora. God bless you po.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you? And God bless you.
From Miss Arlene Anesito, Happy New Year, Doc.
Hi, Arlene. Kumusta? I'd like to mention I am wearing the colors of 2021. The yellow po is illuminating and the gray po is ultimate gray. So, dalawa po yun. There are actually two colors for the year 2021. Suot ko po sila today.
From Mr. Armarks Casino, Good AM po, Ma'am Doktora. Happy New Year po.
Happy New Year po, Sir. Sir Ray Markian.
From Mr. Jeffrey Kiambao, hello po, Manalbe. Kami po, Kenny Poblacion, Santo Tomas. Happy New Year.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you? And how is your New Year? Sana okay naman.
From Miss Glenn Lagazon, Happy New Year po.
Wow, Glenn, how are you?
From Mr. Paeng Nepomuceno at Paeng Bowling, Happy New Year, Dr. Ana, Mayor J, and Benji.
Wow, it's an honor to be greeted by a world champion, di ba, Reigns? Alam mo si Benji, pag ayaw niya maglakad, I always tell him that Tito Paeng told him to walk.
I actually follow Sir Paeng's Doktora advice. Remember we interviewed her last time na yung first 15 minutes exercise is good for the heart only. If you want to lose weight, additional 15 minutes. 15 minutes and beyond, that's for losing weight. I always keep that in mind. From Mizari Cruz Larin, magandang umaga po. Happy New Year po. Maraming salamat po sa pagbabahagi ng inyong mga kaalaman. Marami po akong natutunan at naibabahagi ko rin po sa iba. Sana ngayong 2021 po ay patuloy po ang pagbahagi nyo ng mga usapin sa kalusugan. Marami po kasi akong napapanood ng mga medical na usapin sa FB, YouTube at TV, pero iba po talaga ang sa inyo. Maaaring magtanong ng live at sasagot po kayo.
Favorite natin si Zari kasi siya talaga yung nagbubuhay ng mga live natin. Zari, keep it up. And may point si Zari kasi it's very easy to give health tips, Reina. A lot of people are giving health tips, but ang tanong ko, what is the madaling magsabi na ganito. Pag may nagtanong sa'yo bakit, then dun madali yun yung yun yung point ko. A lot of people don't like being dictated upon. So yung mga health tips, people need to go beyond the tips. Alam mo yon? Oo nga, ganon. But the question is, bakit? And then, the second question is, how does the health tip relate to me? And dun lumalabas yun sa Q&A. Nakuha mo yon, Reigns? Madami talagang nagsasabi, ang gaganda ng mga ibang health tips. Really, they're beautiful. I don't mean anything wrong to anyone. But sometimes, people wanna go beyond what you told them. Parang gusto nilang malaman, bakit ho ganyan? And the second is, how does it relate to me? So yun yung the reason for the Q&A. Kasi kuminsan may gusto kang linawin, kuminsan may gusto kang itanong personal to you or somebody that you know. Ngayon, if you're just hearing information dictated to you, parang wala, diniktahan ka lang, then dumaan dito. Ang importante, malaman mo, like, why is it that way? And the second is, how can I apply that to my life? Yun.
From Mr. Richard Lopez, masayang pamagdatang ng 2021 po.
Yes. Malaos po, 2021. Malaos po means enter 2021, okay? Yung sinabi naman ni Sir means maganda yung pagdating ng 2021. I hope so really. Though, parang, di ba, parang kung magaling kang mahuhula, nobody predicted the pandemic. Ikaw ba, Reyna, do you remember somebody predicting a pandemic in 2020?
No, I did not. And in fact, madami pa kaming plans ng 2020. I think kaya talaga nag-freak out ang mga tao because of the unknown. Hindi mo alam eh, unpredictable eh.
Oo.
Yeah. That's
That's what I meant talaga. Yeah. Para bang nung March, tama ka, mag-freak out ka kasi nga, parang walang hope. Kasi hindi natin alam kung ilang milyon na mamamatay nung March, di ba? It could have been 10 million. And then, pwedeng mamatay na lahat ng tao sa Pilipinas. So, we don't know how the pandemic. So, yung unknown na yon naging known na. Ngayon,
Yes.
pwede natin kunin yung knowledge na yon and move forward. That's what I mean. Meron na tayong bakuna. Alam na natin how to avoid. Alam na rin natin may gamot. So, it's up to us na kung saan natin ilulugar yung sarili natin. Unlike nung March, parang napaka-helpless natin. Kasi not even the Nobel Prize winner scientists in the world alam nila kung ano yung mangyayari. Honestly, this was a time talaga na big question mark ang buong mundo, including the most intelligent and learned persons. Yun. So, parang marami na tayong na-travel from March until now. We have a lot of answers. Of course, wala pa yung complete answers. Pero we do have a lot of answers and we are moving forward with that. Yun.
Agree. Personally, Doctora, I am thankful for 2020. The learnings that you can get from, for a 10-year, yung 10 years mo is summed up to 1 year.
Oo, parang biglang nangyari dun eh, no?
Diba? Parang nag-exam tayo ng, okay, rush exam, pass your paper agad, yun. So,
Hindi, marami talagang learnings for 2020. Ito lang the learning was not easy. I can't say that it was. Kaya lang, even just surviving alone was a great goal. Yung buo yung pamilya mo, Reyna, hindi pa kayo nagsaksakan ng asawa mo. The kids are still eating. Yun na lang survival goal eh. Now, all of these people na sobrang pumayat, gumawa ng 10 business, whatever, pabayaan mo sila. Yun ang timeline nila. Tayo, may timeline tayo na perfect for each and every one of us. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Kasi ang dun sa FB, na kesyo kay gumawa daw sila ng business, pabayaan mo sila, good. Kung nababahala ka, unfollow. Ganon.
Yeah, agree. Kung feeling mo na naaalpasan ka na, nako, unfollow, guys, unfollow.
Oo.
It's bad for your...
At saka, oo. At saka isa pa ang tagal-tagal ko na rin talaga dito. One of the major learnings of 2020 is that social media is not life. Social media is an advertisement of each person's life. That is not their life.
Diba nga, there's a saying na don't believe everything in social media. That's not who they are in real life. Diba? They just project whatever it is, kung yung happy, ideal, because that's what they want. But at the end of the day,
yun yung gusto
there are
nila.
also people like us.
Yeah, ngayon, kung ganun ang buhay nila, well then good. Pero 99.9%, all of us on social media are there because we're selling something. What are we selling?
Exactly.
The idea, our idea of ourselves. Yun.
Hindi mo naman
If you think about it that way, then you're gonna be fine. Oo.
Yeah, at saka Doc, di ba hindi mo naman ipopost and i-broadcast sa buong mundo ang mga, sorry for the term, pero yung mga ka-stupidehan mo, yung mga failures mo, mistakes mo. Hindi mo naman yan ipopost.
Yes, that's true. People filter what they post. And what you see is not even half of what is true. Yun lang.
Agree.
If you approach it that way, you'll be okay.
Ako, this is just my advice, being a digital marketer for, almost 2 decades na malapit na. Ito lang ang advice ko. Enjoyin mo lang yung nakikita mo. Just learn how to enjoy it. Yung nakikita mong success ng iba, enjoy it. Make it as an inspiration. Pero pag feeling mo, naiinggit ka na, ayaw mo nang makita, naiinis ka na, gusto mo nang gumawa ng eksena, please, do some detoxification. Mag-detox ka. Mag-social media detox ka. Go out, breathe. Ganon. Yun lang ang mapapayo ko, Doc.
Agree.
Okay,
nobody is requiring you to follow another person.
Exactly. And if you feel like making chismis on your own chat group regarding one person, please, we all have
Move on na lang.
enough negativity in the world. Huwag nyo nang huwag na kayong magtawag pa ng mga kakampi and bash the person. Wag. I remember this is the best time to look back on what we've journeyed, Doktora, on the 2020. Madami ding pinagdaanan ng Doktora Ana York Bondok na page. One of which is yung band rapid testing mo. Ang dami. Yeah. Pero anti-vaxxers. Pero, at the end of the day, if you know yourself, just like Doktora, stand on your ground. Diba? May time na nag-detox kami ni Doktora. That's very true. Nag-detox kami talaga sa social media. For some time,
parang kami yung makaaway na.
Correct. So, yun nga, it's not wrong to block people. I-block mo. There must be a reason why they are on your blacklist. Tatandaan nyo yan. There must be a reason why. So, don't feel guilty about it. Do everything that makes you sane. Yung to keep your sanity. Yun nga, di ba? Yun.
Block people that are just really not good for you.
Oo, hayaan mo silang gumawa ng paraan para gumawa ulit ng another page. I remember I was hacked. Diba, Doktora? Diyos ko.
Hack ka nga, oo.
Imbis na bumuo ang mundo ko noon, move on. Move on lang tayo. Hindi natatapos ang mundo at ang buhay nyo sa social media. Please lang. Huwag nyong gawing pag nawala ang Facebook nyo at na-hack, naku, huwag kayong maglupasay dyan at mag-iiyak. Move on. Move on. Make
another paraan.
Yes. Make another life
rin naman.
aside from social media. Yes. Okay, next natin.
Kung kayo nakaraos ng 2020, maganda na yon.
Yes, from Miss Aga Sagong, good morning. Happy blessed New Year po.
That's my kumare.
From Miss Vilma Taruk, a blessed New Year po.
Vilma, thanks.
From Miss Barbie Taruk Olap, morning po, Doktora. Maraming salamat po. Marami kaming natututunan. God bless po.
That's Barbie. Hi, Barbs. Thank you for joining us all the time. We appreciate it so much.
Kami din, Doktora, ma-mention ko lang, madami din tayo natututunan sa mga viewers and commenters natin. Tama ba?
Oo, magaganda yung mga comments. Grabe. Well thought out.
At saka may sense naman sila na yung mga comment nila, they have, full sense.
Ang gaganda.
From Mr. Marco Manansala, Happy New Year po, Dr. Ana. Stay safe po and God bless.
That's my inana.
From Miss...
Inaanak ata ni Rimpy si Marco. Sorry. Marco, si Rimpy pala yung ninong mo.
From Miss Rosario Kataina Gionzon, Happy New Year, Doktora. Happy New Year.
Kayo rin.
From Miss Denny Anisete Santos, morning po. Keep safe po always.
Thanks, Denny.
From Miss John Gabukay, hi Sir John. Hi, Doktora.
Hi, sir. Ayan.
From Miss
Thank
Sheena
you for helping us dun sa na-hospital kahapon.
From Miss Sheena,
how are you, John?
From Miss Arnie Dominguez, Happy New Year.
Arnie, same to you. And your family also, Arnie.
From Miss Marilyn De Makibo, Happy New Year po, Doktora.
Hi, Marilyn. Thank you. Ikaw din.
From Miss Carmelita Grospe, Happy New Year po, Doktora.
Ma'am Carmelita, how are you? Thank you.
From Miss Zari Cruz, Larin, tanong ko lang po. Halimbawa po ang isang PWD special. Nasa tamang edad na po na nakatira po sa kasalukuyan sa probinsya at nais pong isama sa bahay nila sa Maynila at babalik din po sa gabi. Okay lang po ba? Kasi po makwento po siya at madalas nakakalimutan niya ang mga dapat at hindi dapat ngayong may COVID. Nagtatanggal ng face mask at social distancing. Uuwian po nilang bahay sa probinsya ay may senior citizen at may sakit.
Is this a PWD na parang not quite well so that hindi siya masyadong cautious, ganun ho ba? Is that what you got from the question? Is yung PWD?
Yes po.
is not wearing a mask because may kapansanan yung tao sa pag-iisip? Ganun ba?
Parang hindi siya cautious, doktora, kasi parang, yung, ang sabi po dito ni Ms. Zari Cruz Larin, kasi po makwento po siya at madalas nakakalimutan niya ang mga dapat at hindi dapat gawin ngayong may COVID. So, nagtatanggal siya ng
yeah, okay. Sorry, Rains, okay. My question is this yung pagiging makakalimutin due to the disability? Yun ang tanong ko. Kasi, if someone is disabled, lalo na may kapansanan sa pag-iisip, definitely we should extend our understanding to that person. Kasi hindi siya nagmamask, not because pasaway siya, but because of her disability. Tama ba? Did I get it properly? Yeah. Is it the disability that's causing her to forget and not to wear? Kasi if especially kung special or what, um our understanding is necessary in this situation. Hindi po natin dapat pagalitan yung tao, but we should actually be supportive of said person. And the second question that I ask is it a mental disability that we're talking about? Kasi kung makakalimutin siya, is it because she's disabled, may problema sa pag-iisip? In that case, for the safety of that person should not leave the house unaccompanied. Kasi baka may mangyari, ma-expose tuloy yung tao sa COVID not being aware. So, yun lang yung naiisip ko. Is the disability mental? Ganun ba? Hindi ko na-gets yung tanong.
Parang sinabi niya dito is PWD special. Parang may special...
Yeah, this is a special person. If this is a special person, definitely, hindi dapat lumabas po ng bahay na mag-isa. Na wala pong, kasi they might remove their mask. So, and then, if they remove their mask po, sila po ay, may expose, and then that's bad. And then, may expose pa nila yung senior citizen, kawawa po silang dalawa doon. So, if someone is disabled due to mental disability po, during this time po, this person should not remain unaccompanied po. Number one, baka mawala, pandemic pa naman, ang hirap maghanap ngayon. Number two, baka may expose po sa COVID yung tao. Yun. And then, number three, baka if we cannot trust said person to wear a mask, baka po mahawaan pa niya yung mga kasama niya po.
Ayan, si Ms. Zari Cruz Larin ay nag-follow up sa ating comment. Ibig ko pong sabihin, hindi po siya sobrang special. Medyo makulit lang po. Normal po siya.
Kung makulit po yung tao, pakiusapan nyo na lang po. Marami naman hong makulit, including kids. But the most important po, kung tama naman po yung pag-iisip ng tao, I think the pandemic po, yung makulit po, I think pakiusapan po ng maayos. And kung ano naman ho, kung matino naman po yung pag-iisip ng tao, maaalala naman po niya yon. Ngayon, if the person is a special child, huwag naman po natin pagalitan. Because, how can you explain to someone po na without the proper thinking to wear a mask? Ngayon, with the proper thinking naman po at makulit, kung with the proper ma'am, ito po with the proper thinking, when you go out without a mask, baka po kayo ma-aresto talaga. Very serious po si IATF, hindi po ako nagbibiro dito. It is a serious matter po na to go out po without mask. So, siguro i-warningan nyo na lang po about the consequences po ng paglalabas po o pagtatanggal po ng mask. Ito lang I don't know the age. One of the most makulit talaga, more difficult than kids is elderly. And sometimes, ang hirap pang pagsabihan ng mga elderly, and I don't want to use the term makulit kasi parang napaka-disrespectful for an elderly person. But honestly po, sometimes it's really hard. Sa mga cases na gano'n, I would suggest po, na lang, samahan nyo na lang po and frequent po, yung kumbaga, supportahan nyo na lang po with na-gets mo yung point ko, Reyna. Some of the most makulit, I don't want to use the term makulit kasi I don't want to be disrespectful to older persons. But really, it's really difficult sometimes. I see sometimes older persons removing their mask po. Ngayon, kung hindi naman ho nila palalabasin, kung minsan nagre-rebelde na rin po. Ang masasuggest ko po sa ganun, samahan nyo na lang po yung tao. Okay? Kasi baka number one, magalit po yung IATF, mga police, whatever, maano pa yung tao. And then, number two po, for the safety rin po ng taong yon, samahan niyo po. Okay?
Agree ako. That's malinaw, Doktora. That's very clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, some of the most makulit persons in this day and age are the seniors. Ideally, sabihin mo, huwag ka na lumabas. Parang impossible na yun eh. It's been 10 months. Parang hindi ko na nakikita na we can imprison them. But what we can do is that we can assist them and that we can accompany them. Yun. Ngayon, kung nakalabas yung makulit na tao na mag-isa and then took off their mask, siguro, i-blame na rin natin yung sarili natin na hindi natin sinamahan yun. Pero again, we're also working. Wala naman tayong all the time in the day to go with said person. Siguro matindi na lang pakiusap din talaga. And may mga police chief talaga nanguhuli.
Okay.
Sabi ko nga nung governor namin, huhulihin namin yung mga anak mo at pati kayo na rin. So, yun.
Mr. Ronald Tongol, Happy New Year po. Watching here in Santo Tomas, Pampanga.
Ronald, thanks for joining us. Zari, I hope this answered your question. Sa mga makukulit, ito lang lastly, patience, okay? All of us do not have the perfect personality. And lahat tayo meron pagkukulang sa isa't isa. Kung yung pagkukulang po nila ay makulit, patience po and understanding will go a long way.
Yes. Agree ako dyan, Doc.
Diba? Oo. So wala naman tayong perfect eh.
From Mr. Jeffrey Guevara Hernandez, Happy New Year po.
Jeffrey, thanks for joining us.
From Mr. Raymond Alan Sase, one of our viewers on YouTube, Happy New Year po, Dr. Ana and Mayor Dr. J. Thank you for the great perspective.
Thanks for joining us on YouTube, Dr. Ana York Bondo. YouTube po, Dr. Ana York Bondo.
From Mizari Cruz Larin, kapag po nairita po sa face mask na suot, ano po ang dapat gawin?
Mahirap talaga, Zari. It's hard. You know what I would suggest for said person na talagang naiirita? My question, siguro my advice to this is my advice also to parents of smaller children, caregivers of older people. Take a break. Ano yung meaning ko doon? Huwag ho kayong makipagsigawan sa gitna ng mall na huwag mong tanggalin yung face mask mo. That's not the way to go. And I also understand po, syempre, yung nung caregiver. Kasi that goes both ways eh. Naiirita yung nakasuot, naiirita din yung kasama niya. Ano ba, wag mong tanggalin yung face mask. Okay? My advice to you, Zari, do not fight with said person na naiirita. What you should do is take a break. Punta kayong CR or punta kayong lugar na walang tao or outdoors. Tanggalin yung face mask. Wala namang katabi, di ba? And then, breathe, mamaypay, use Vicks, huminga ng malalim, drink something. You know what I mean? Kasi yung pinipilit mo, ikaw tama ka. Siya rin naman tama siya. She cannot breathe, okay? So, tama kayong dalawa eh. Yung pag-aaway nyo in that moment, magkakasamaan na lang ng loob. So, my advice is, you guys go somewhere, drink a Coke. You know what I mean? Take a break para yung sama ng loob ng isa't isa bababa. Remove the face mask when there's no persons. Hinga po ng malalim, paypay ng muka. Kwentuhan ho ng konti para yung stress bumaba. And then, I explain na, tara, 5 minutes na lang, tapusin natin yung grocery natin, uwi na po tayo. Ganon. That's what I could suggest. And that usually works also for kids, for adults, for impatient persons. What I mean is take a break. Do not get into a shouting match na isot mo yung face mask mo o arestuhin ka sa mall. Yung isa naman sasabihin niya, hindi ako makahinga, my God, anong gusto mong gawin ko? Wala pong magandang usapan na mangyayari doon. Advice, lumabas kayo ng mall kaagad, go to the CR, whatever, remove face mask, hinga ng malalim, kalma, and then, once okay, you can resume what you're doing. And then, number 2, advice doon sa mga relatives of people who can't stand the face mask. Number 2, keep your trips short. Okay? Huwag yung 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, raratsadahin nyo dahil yun yung araw nyo na wala kayong trabaho. No. Sa mga ganito po, all, like halimbawa, bahay, 1 hour sa mall, bahay. Ganon. Huwag nyong bahay, then mall, then kakain, then iikot. Walang mangyayari doon. Hanggat maaari, keep your trips short. Number 3, keep your trips vital. Kung hindi na lang talaga kailangan, huwag nang lumabas ng bahay. And then, number 4, kung yung tao, huwag niyong pabayaan kasi baka mahilo from the face mask, mag-collapse pa or what. Samahan niyo po all the time. And number 5, kung yung tao nagtatanggal ng face mask, nahihirapan huminga, pero talaga nagwawala na rin ho sa bahay dahil hindi na rin po makayanan, you might consider having excursions po sa sasakyan na no need to wear face mask or sa bukid or in a place na nakababa yung face mask na wala naman tao, okay? Tapos pag may dumating, isuot na lang yung face mask. So, there's many ways to go around it. And honestly, Zari, ang dami talagang nahirapan na nakasuot ng face mask. I am fully supporting din po. Baka naman hindi lang makulit yung taong hindi niya kaya talaga. Merong ganon, hindi niya kaya. Okay? Upon which, it needs our understanding and respect for that person. At saka kung may pupuntahan kayo, mabilis lang. Kung minsan biglang kakain, titingin lang, bibili lang, next thing you know, nag-shopping na, ganun. Maawa ka sa kasama mong hindi makahinga. Yun. And that happens to me with Benj. Sometimes talagang like when, sabi niya, Mom, I can't breathe. Uy, balik siya sa kotse. Hindi ko po pinipilit. Kasi wala ko tayong pupuntahan by a big fight. Ikaw, Reyna, what do you think?
Kami talaga, Doktor, naging ugali na talaga namin na pag hindi importante, hindi kami talaga lalabas. Except for errands na kailangan personal. But then other errands, we let my Ate Jeng go out and then siya yung gagawa. Kasi she can manage. More than two people outside na po. Sobrang mahirap i-manage ngayon. So ako, I agree. Take a break.
Yeah, take a break.
Somewhere. Mag-restroom kayo. Or kami talaga, we go
outdoors. Oh.
Yeah. Hindi na kami nagpapatagal. Kung ano yung trip namin, that's all. We can schedule another trip outside, but if hindi na kaya, uwi na tayo.
Oo,
ganun talaga.
Ganun talaga, yeah. And Zaria, baka you're calling that person makulit, pero honestly, there are people na hindi talaga makahinga, Reyna.
Oo.
Ay, isa pa ha, bring a pamaypay. Nakakatulong talaga na malaki.
Tsaka Doc,
yung battery electric fan, itapat mo sa mukha mo.
Yeah, okay.
And number 3, kung ikaw yung taong makulit, eto sabihin ko, recognize na may magsasabi sa'yo, bakit yung iba nakakatagal ng face mask? Bakit ikaw hindi? Iba't iba ang mga tao. Okay? So, if you are the person na hindi makahinga sa face mask, normal yun sa ibang tao. Normal yun. Normal talaga. Sorry, talagang normal. And tama ka, Reyna, hanggat kaya lang yung trips, don't force it. Pero ito lang wag naman din hong ipreso yung mga tao sa bahay kasi mahirap din yun.
Tsaka remind ko lang, Doktora, kasi I've been hearing this a lot from millennials. Yung quote na, sinong mag-a-adjust? Lahat tayo mag-a-adjust. Hindi ako ang mag-a-adjust, hindi ikaw, lahat tayo mag-a-adjust. You're not special para sabihin mo, hindi ako mag-a-adjust, siya ang mag-a-adjust. No.
Hindi pwede talaga. Patience talaga. Patience will help you nitong 2021.
So, tigilan na yung sinong mag-a-adjust. Lahat tayo mag-a-adjust. Okay? So, mag-a-adapt. That's the right term. From Miss Maria Bayos, hello, Doktora. Watching here from Bicol.
Wow, galing. So far.
From Miss Grace Nel Rico Hermoso, good morning, Doktora. Blessed 2021 to you and your family.
Ikaw din, Grace.
From Miss Techi Mangulabnan, Lansangan, hello, Doktora. Watching from Milan, Happy New Year.
Ma'am, Happy New Year.
From Miss Purificacion Suba, hello po, Doktora. Watching from Tarlac.
Okay. Hi, ma'am.
From Miss Carol Magtalas, thank you po. Very uplifting po advices nyo. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Carol. Ako rin kasi nahihirapan, so I need to take these advices. I actually need to tattoo them on my arm.
From Miss Leia Peña, good day po.
Leia, how are you? Isa rin yun na mahilig manood sa atin and we're happy to hear from Leia.
Yeah, this one is done na. From Miss Zari Cruz Larin, that's done. From Miss Regina Taruk Lagman, Happy New Year po, Doktora.
Regina, how are you?
From Miss Lilibet Landig, Happy New Year po, Doktora.
Lilibet, thank you for greeting us.
From Miss Estelita Valle, hello po. Happy New Year po.
Happy New Year too.
From Miss Jane Mary, Happy New Year, Doktora Ana. Ingat po lagi.
Kayo rin. Stay safe and healthy.
From Miss Ging Galbo, Happy New Year to all of us. Elderlies are already forgetful, kaya po naging paulit-ulit ang tanong o sinasabi. Needs tons of patience and understanding.
And one of the things that I always think, you know what, aabot tayo doon. And the attitude towards our elderly, we teach that to our kids, and that will be their attitude towards us.
From Miss Dina Gonzaga, watching from Bacoor po, so bored na po ako. I'm 58, minsan nasad na ako. But I'm scared to go out without mask and shield.
Ma'am, talagang yun ang mga advice ko sa'yo. Kung lalabas ka talaga because you're bored in your house, wala naman pong masama doon. But definitely po, ma'am, take your mask and your face shield. And then another thing, if you're really so bored, baka gusto mong pumunta sa lugar po na like medyo open. Yun po yung makakatulong din po. Kasi kung open po, you can take a few minutes without mask and face shield. Like bukid or garden or something like that po.
From Miss Herminia de la Peña, keep safe po, Doktora Mayor Jason Sagum and Benji.
Thank you, ma'am.
From Miss Zari Cruz Larin, mapanganib po ba ang peking face mask? Nakabili po ako ng face mask na ibang brand sa dati ko pong gamit. Nangati po mukha ko at nagkapantal. Kapag po nangati at nagkapantal sa
That
mukha,
is a good question kasi excellent question. Ito lang I would say that it's not a fake face mask, but I would say yung ingredients in that face mask did not agree with you. And if you like a certain brand and it works for you, try to stick to it na po. Kasi iba't iba po yung manufacturing. Tama po yan, Zari. Sometimes mangangati yung mukha, sometimes magpapantal, sometimes sobrang acne, sometimes mapapabahin pa kayo, which is really not good. So, and also sometimes, the way the face mask was stored. Kasi yung iba ho, matagal na sa storage and then medyo, sometimes yung pagka-storing nila. So, yes, that is correct, Zari. That if you change brand or sometimes just the way the face mask was stored, nakakairita talaga ng mukha, skin, and also kasi hinihinga mo yun eh. Sometimes it can cause talaga yung mahahatching ganon. So yes, kung any doubts about the face mask, pwede naman pong paarawan muna para mawala po yung mga yung mga storages ganon. Ang gandang tanong nun.
from Miss Maria Teresa Mo Nazareno, Happy New Year po, Doktora.
Kayo rin, ma'am.
From Mr. Mogs Mogs, Happy New Year po, Ninong J, Ninang Ana, and Benji. God bless.
Wow, thank you, inaanak.
From Ms. Zari Cruz Larin, salamat po sa pagsagot sa mga katanungan ko. God bless po.
Zari, we love your questions and keep them coming.
From Ms. Gigi Gatuslao, hello, Dr. Ana, been a long time. Miss you and your family. Have a blessed New Year.
Gigi, thanks for joining us.
From Ms. Laling Tagoko, hi, Doktora, watching from Miligan City. Happy New Year po.
Hi, Lali. Thank you.
From Ms. Rem Malonzo, Happy New Year, Doktora and family. From Madam Rem from San Francisco, California. Be safe always.
That's our former school's DepEd school's supervisor. Thank you, ma'am, and happy to know that you are doing well po sa US. And safe po kayong lahat.
From Ms. Leila Dominguez Minaves, hi, Doktora, watching from Pasay. Stay safe po palagi.
Hi, Leila. Kumusta ka sa Pasay? Stay safe also.
from Miss Pinky Cortez. Good to hear your advice, Doctora. Happy New Year po.
Pinky, thank you. Ikaw din. And your family.
And that's all that we have for today, Doctora.
Woohoo!
Happy New Year, everybody.
So, thank you guys. Huwag kayong mag-freak out sa 2021. Basahin niyo po yan. And hopefully that will help you po to chillax. Okay? And etong first week of January, siguro balikan natin yung mga lessons ng 2020 and how we can move forward po in a positive state of mind. Okay?
Yes, that's a good topic, Doc.